What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations. If you didn't see what happened last time at the very end, you need to watch it because I'm about to say some crazy things. I'm about to drop some truth bombs on the floor, and you don't want to trip on that shit. So here we go. Okay, so the Yatagarasu is in fact 3 people. Detective Bad for evidence, Callisto Yu for, as defense attorney for getting the layout of the land in the client corporations, and finally, Mr. Faraday, Burn Faraday, who would have Little Thief. 3-man job. 3 legs of Yatagarasu. Boom, we got it. So here we go. I grow weary of this. It's about time for everything to come to an end. And this time I won't miss. Stop! You! It's over, Shina. Your leg. What a badass. Agent Lang. You idiot! What were you thinking jumping in front of my gun like that? What are you risking your life for? I'm sorry, Detective Bad, but no matter what sort of past she may have had, or even if she is a spy, it doesn't change the fact that she is my subordinate. And as long as she is, I can't allow any harm to come to her. Not even from you. You really are an idiot, you know that? That's fine with me. You should know by now that this is just how I am. Hey, sis. I want you to conduct a full body search. Shina might have another weapon on her. Alright? Detective Gumshoe, your assistance, please. Sir. Hey, I found something! What is this, sir? Looks like the blade of a knife, but it doesn't have a handle. This is a great find, Detective. It is, sir? Let's try pairing up this blade with this handle. We only have one handle. Boom. I believe this blade actually belongs with the handle that was on the murder weapon. They fit together perfectly. This blade must have been taken from the crime scene when the knife handles were switched. I'm gonna go return this Babalese knife now. Alright. I trust that you'll make sure that it is returned to Ambassador Peleno. Babalese knife handle given to Detective Gumshoe. I believe this makes it perfectly clear who did it. Callisto Yu. But the only time the handles could have been switched is just after Mr. Cochin's murder. Haha! Which means that you must be Mr. Cochin's killer. You killed Mr. Cochin with the Alabastian knife. Switched the handles and then took the original blade of the Babalese knife with you. Later, you allowed yourself to be spotted by Cade near the open-air stage. You used the fireplace to lose her, and then you went back to accuse her of the murder. Does that about sum it up? Objection! Haha, you craft an engaging tale, Edgeworth, but there are 2 problems with it. Problems? In what respect? Why do you think my real reason was in allowing her to chase after me? It was all so I could capture Kay Faraday. What? When I saw you using that device at Gatewater Land, I knew right away that you were Burn Faraday's daughter. I became curious, so I researched a little into your background. That's how I found out that you were on the trail of the Yatagarasu. So that's why you tried to pin Mr. Cochin's murder on me. I knew you would show up at this embassy tonight. So I thought to use you, but pinning the murder on you wasn't my only goal. You had another? Yes. Once I had you under arrest, I had planned to search you. And take back the device that rightfully belongs to me, the true Yatagarasu. You were going to take Little Thief away from me? 7 years ago, it was thanks to that device that Faraday was able to infiltrate this place. But he stole more than he should have. I had a tough time recovering that precious key. Then, the person who stole the Yatagarasu's key was Mr. Faraday. You. That incident 7 years ago. What was the catalyst behind it? In the eyes of the smuggling ring, the Yatagarasu was becoming a bit of a problem. It wasn't an especially pleasant assignment. Then why? Why did you become a member of the Yatagarasu? There's no why. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. What is that supposed to mean? The person I take orders from hasn't changed, even now, to this day. Does this mean that the leader of the smuggling ring wasn't Mr. Kochin? Then, the real ringleader is still out there pulling the strings. Are you done asking what you need to know? Because if so, we should probably get going. And you're going to tell me everything you did tonight. Do you understand, Shina? I guess I should tell you then, that I was the one who set the Babalese embassy on fire. And why'd you do that? I suppose it was to destroy all evidence of the counterfeit bills. That was what the smuggling ring was trying to do? But then, why start 2 fires? Sorry, but I can't tell you anything about the ring. It's your job to complete your investigation after all. I've had my fun. Now it's your turn to enjoy the ride. Bum. Bum. Wait! I mean, Mishina. Yes? When I fell to the floor earlier, these fell at my feet. What about them? They're such pretty hair sticks that I thought, well, that I should return them to you. You can have them. They're no use to me anymore. If you don't want them, you can always just throw them away. No, I want to keep them. Suit yourself. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot, Edgeworth. About the second problem I had with your story. I didn't kill anyone tonight. What? I'm not saying that as a sore loser. Think of it as a hint, if you will. Mr. P. Yes, Agent Lang. Mark my words, I'm not done here and I'll be back. And it's got nothing to do with duty or anything, because this has become my personal case. I may have been shot, but I'll show you just how dangerous a wounded wolf can be. His anger appears to have negated the sensation of pain during, in his injured leg. It's finally over, Kay. I feel like I've peered into her heart a little, you know? And it's so cold and dark, and incredibly lonely. The person who was giving her all these commands. The one who thought my father was a problem to be removed. That person is the real ringleader behind the smuggling ring. Mr. Edgeworth, I have a favor to ask. Can you hold on to these hair sticks for me? They're really pretty, just like the ones they were selling for the Jam and Ninja show. But until this case is over, I don't think I can look at them without being overcome. I understand. I'll take good care of them for you. There is a bit of soil stuck on the ends of these sticks. I guess it's that time already, huh? So it's midnight, the dawn of another day. Hey, Pops, thanks a bunch. You really done a lot for everyone all these years. Detective Bad, don't tell me today is the day. Yeah, it is. With this, I can retire in peace. It was down to the wire, and we almost didn't make it. But we did it. We solved everything. But that's just it. We haven't solved everything yet, and you're going to jail because you were one of the 3 members of the Yatagarasu, so you should go to jail. You're going to jail, buddy. The ringleader of the smuggling ring, you, the Yatagarasu, we're chasing after. The legend of that Yatagarasu is now over. Mr. Edgeworth, that bit of logic earlier, it was brilliant. I feel like I can leave it all in your hands. I'm counting on you. Is it really true, Uncle Bad? Were you also a part of the Yatagarasu? As I said to you earlier, Kay, I'm truly sorry. I wanted nothing but a peaceful life for you. Hey, don't take it so seriously. It's all just one big joke, right? Unfortunately, it isn't. Oh, come on, sir. She's just yanking on my chain, isn't she, Mr. Edgeworth? Detective Bad. Wait. No, you are no longer a detective. Mr. Bad, I'd like to ask you about the Yatagarasu. Not you too, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, here, I should give these back to you. These are The pages from my KG8 case files that the Yatagarasu stole from my office. What? Come on, Gumshoe. Come on. Mr. Edgeworth, I must apologize for last night. So the Yatagarasu who stole into my room was you, was it? Then that means... What? Tell me it's not true. That's too insane for me to believe, sir. It's true, even if it's not something you want to hear. The KG8 incident. It was a very emotionally trying case. We stood in that courtroom, Faraday as the prosecutor and I as the lead detective. Faraday had evidence in his possession that would prove the defendant guilty. But, because it was stolen, the defendant was found innocent. You was the elder sister of the victim in the case. When the defendant was pronounced not guilty, she let out a great wail. That's when we realized that there was a limit to what the law could do. The only way to bring someone like that to justice was to do so outside of the courts. That's what we thought at the time. That's how we formed the Yatagarasu, and vowed to bring to light any dirty dealings companies had with the ring, including companies that dealt with the Amano Group. Mr. Amano's conglomerate? We called ourselves the Yatagarasu, and flexed our collective muscle. We exposed all sorts of shady dealings as a warning to the business world as a whole. By doing that, we were able to stop the higher-ups from covering things up. And then it was finally time. We had finally arrived at the moment when we'd find out the ringleader's true identity. It was then that you literally stabbed us in the heart. And Faraday, he died for it. But why? Wasn't she the sister of the victim in the KG8 incident? After Faraday's death, I looked into her past. And that's when I found out that she was a phony. The victim of the KG8 incident, CCU. She never had a sister. Then that means Sheena wasn't the only fake name she used. Callisto U was also another pseudonym. From the very beginning, that woman was a spy sent by the smuggling ring. She said it herself. I was destined to betray everyone from the very beginning. Anyway, let's return to the real topic at hand. Mr. Edgeworth, this trump card that we stuck onto this page of the case file, please use it wisely. Trump card? That photo that we stuck on there, try peeling it off. Behind it slumbers a piece of evidence that Faraday hid all those years ago. It's the mark of the Yatagarasu, but why? This is a directives card from the big boss. Take a look at the back. This was something Kochin had on him at the time of the KG8 incident, 10 years ago. That blood is from the victim of the incident, Miss CCU. But why is the card adorned with the mark of the Yatagarasu? The reason why we called ourselves the Yatagarasu was because of the three-legged raven mark that the smuggling ring's boss used. Apparently, orders from the boss would come on these cards without fail. The person who received the order was supposed to burn it immediately after reading it. And apparently it burns a bright green flame when set ablaze. So you mean, the cards were written in Bobbly's ink? The fact that the card that Kochin was sent made into Faraday's hand at all. Wait, what? Okay. Is nothing short of a miracle. We decided that whenever we stole anything, we would send a card along with it to the police. So that's what those white cards are. The great thief that used the mark, that only those within the ring would know. It was our message to the ringleader, that we were only a few steps behind. And one more thing, Detective Gumshoe. I'm entrusting this to you. What is this, sir? This is what I was talking about earlier. During the KG-8 incident trial, Faraday had this in his possession. This important, definitive piece of evidence. But I thought it was stolen. How do you have it? The person who stole it from us 10 years ago was a man by the name of Ernest Amano. And he had it locked and hidden away for all this time. But we forced him to tell us where it was finally, after the other day's kidnapping case. This video. Don't come any closer! I'm warning you! This is the same video as the one Mr. Portsman was trying to conceal from me. It would seem that even he was caught up in the ring's web. Amano was preparing to take on the boss someday, and the video was his insurance. That's where that prosecutor comes in. He was to retrieve the video. On top of that, he was apparently instructed to sneak into your office and steal the trump card. You saw it for yourself, right? The card that told them to preserve the evidence. Then, that card was not the calling card of the Yatagarasu, but rather a directives card from the ringleader to Mr. Portsman. The two pieces together make for a strong weapon for whoever holds them. The evidence Mr. Portsman thought to withhold from me, and the one that you stole from my office last night. Both pieces are illegal, and for me to use either one is... Whether you use them or not is up to you. But they will be of help to you when you take on someone who is above the law. Is the boss one of those who cannot be brought to court that Mr. Faraday spoke of? Detective Bad. There is no limit to the law, for it is the people who determine the limits to them. You still insist that even now. You really are something else. I leave the rest in your hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, the handcuffs. It's time to lock up the last remaining member of the Yatagarasu. Pops! Don't ever lose your detective spirit. Pops! Like I always told you, do not get emotionally involved. Now let's go. Yes, sir. Is this really the end of a legend? To be continued. Well, 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 well. If that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video here. I thought there was gonna be like a few more minutes and then end the video, but I guess there's the whole epilogue. I'm guessing the next part's the epilogue. So stay tuned for the next one, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!